The market continues its dichotomous trajectory as we head towards the holidays. I'm Tony with Clarkson Santoro, and this is our real estate update for the week of Friday, October 18th. We know that selling or buying a home can be very stressful and confusing. That's why we do these weekly videos, so you can know how the market is impacting your options as a home seller or buyer. If we look at how the market did this week, there are now 38 homes on the market, which is down 4 from last week's 42. And the average asking price is relatively the same, 2.29 versus the 2.208 from last week. 8 homes went pending, 3 more than the 5 last week, and the average asking price of those pending homes jumped up significantly from $1,784,000 last week up to $1,933,000 this week. And 9 homes closed this week, just 1 more than last week, and the average closing price did drop from $2,071,000 last week to $1,808,000 this week. So that's how the market performed this week, and next we'll look at how the broader trends that help us understand where the market might be heading. But as always, before we do that, if you do find this information helpful, you can hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future updates. And why not share this information with a friend? Everyone deserves to be in the know about how their local real estate market is impacting their options. Okay, let's look at those broader indicators. Starting with the inventory, it came back down this week, back under that 40 home threshold that we consider normal. As we get closer to November and the start of the winter holiday season, inventory should continue to come down. Last year we ended up down to only 5 homes on the market several times through the winter. I would be surprised if inventory falls that low this year, though. Even with the inventory coming down, it didn't affect the turnover rate. It's about the same, just over 50%, same as last week. The slow turnover rate continues to be mostly related to the higher price homes that have been on the market now for over a month. About 25% of homes going onto the market are still selling within 2 weeks. So if a home is priced well and shows beautifully, it can still go pending very quickly. That fact is reinforced by the over-under number. Even with the turnover rate down at almost half of what we would call a normal market, we still see homes close for more than asking price on average. That stat is being primarily driven by those homes that are moving quickly despite the slow turnover rate. You see it jumping quite a bit recently. The average sales price is also creeping back up from the lowest point since the beginning of the year. It was lower at the beginning of the year. The average closing price in San Ramon is back up to $1,844,000, and it looks like it will be trending up when you consider that the average asking price of pending homes this week was even higher than this average closing price. The jump in average sales price could also be more due to the higher number of larger homes closing the past few weeks compared to the weeks prior. The best indicators for market strength tend to be the over-under and turnover numbers, not necessarily the average sales price, especially with this small sample size. The Q fund continues to climb this week, not as dramatically as we saw a few weeks ago, but still showing strong signs of growth. And that always bodes well for the San Ramon housing market. Our city has one of the highest concentrations of high-paid tech professionals in the country. And so there is almost a 1-to-1 correlation to our housing market and the strength of the high-tech sector of the economy. The Q fund is close to reaching a new peak in value as it continues its 7-week trend of growth. Unfortunately, there was another trend going up this week, but it's not one that we would prefer to see moving in that direction. Interest rates climbed 12 basis points this week, which is frustrating frustrating redirection after some real downward movement last month. We saw them creeping close to starting with a 5 and didn't quite get there. The average, the 30-year average is back up to nearly 6.5% now. Overall, the takeaways for this month is that the market is continuing to move in dichotomous directions. Several homes have gone pending quickly, with multiple offers recently, driving the average closing price up over the average asking price. And yet, the majority of homes on the market have been sitting there for over a month. When you compare that to the fact that more than half of the current pending homes were only on the market for less than 2 weeks, it shows that the market isn't necessarily soft, but it is soft enough to make the homes that don't immediately appeal to buyers sit for long periods of time. It is more crucial now than it has been recently for sellers to make every effort to prepare their home to be extremely desirable, whether that is by improving and updating the home or by setting an aggressive price. Thanks for joining me on this weekly update. I hope it helps you understand how our market is impacting your options as a home buyer or seller. Don't forget hit the subscribe button if you do find this information helpful, and share it with a friend. And if you do have any questions about how you can navigate this stressful and often confusing process of selling or buying a home, leave a comment down below or reach out to us directly. We're here to help guide you every step of the way. There's links in the descriptions on how you can reach out to us. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you next week with a new update.